Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're dreaming of moving to the Sunshine State in 2026, you probably have a very specific postcard playing on loop in your head. But Florida's massive regional differences mean your dream could either be a perfect financial paradise or honestly an absolute budget buster. So we've gathered the latest hard data from sources like Salary.com, Newsweek, SafeWise, and WYLT to help you navigate this giant state. Our goal, to give you the absolute clearest picture possible before you pack a single box.
Because we all know the image, right? Endless beaches, eternal sunshine, and the massive, massive appeal of zero state income tax. It sounds like a total financial paradise. I mean, who wouldn't want to just completely ditch state income tax? But before you pack your sunglasses and hand in your resignation letter, we really need to ask if the reality actually matches your budget once you factor in everyday expenses, hidden housing costs, and the specific region you choose to call home.
Okay, here's our roadmap for today. We'll cover the two Floridas, cost of living realities, safe family havens, top-tier healthcare access, and finally, wrap it up with the final verdict.
Let's dive right into Section 1, the two Floridas, a tale of two realities.
To really understand this place, you have to recognize that Florida is practically two entirely different states just masquerading as one. Down south, in places like Miami and Fort Lauderdale, you are paying for the postcard. You get unmatched international culture, booming finance jobs, endless nightlife, and of course the beaches. But that glamorous lifestyle, it comes with a steep premium. Homes regularly clear $500,000, and you're taking on a significantly high flood risk. But head north to cities like Jacksonville or Tallahassee, and you enter what we call the practical Florida. You're swapping neon lights from massive logistics hubs, government centers, and sprawling university towns. You get way more space, significantly lower flood risks, and homes sitting comfortably in the $250,000 to $320,000 range. It's a fundamental divide in both culture and cost.
Moving right along to Section 2, cost of living realities, breaking down the budget.
Get this. According to Salary.com, living in Florida overall is actually 2% higher than the U.S. national average. Now, it's not a massive spike, sure, but it completely debunks that widespread myth that crossing state lines and heading south automatically slashes your living expenses across the board. You aren't just automatically getting richer by changing your zip code.
Sure, you might save about 3 to 4% on things like energy and healthcare compared to the rest of the country. But look at the everyday essentials that actually dictate your weekly budget: housing, transportation, and food. Food alone is sitting a full 7% higher than the national average. Just imagine your typical family grocery run. Every single time you hit the supermarket or fill up your gas tank for your commute, you are going to feel that premium. You have to actively budget for these everyday markups if you want your finances to actually balance out at the end of the month.
And wow, look at the staggering difference in rent. The median rent in Miami's Brickell district, which people often call the Wall Street of the South, is over $2,600 a month. Contrast that with the exact same state just further north in Jacksonville's Mandarin area. It's a gorgeous suburban haven, but rent there is literally half that amount, hovering right around $1,300 a month. You are looking at completely different financial universes existing within a single afternoon's drive of one another. And then, there's the hidden sunshine tax. As Salary.com rightfully points out, your air conditioner is basically going to become your most expensive roommate. It is going to be running nonstop for months on end to combat the extreme summer heat and humidity. While average energy costs might seem slightly lower when averaged out year-round, those sweltering summer months can bring absolutely massive utility bill spikes. You absolutely must build these cooling costs into your budget so you aren't caught totally off guard come July.
Now for Section 3, safe family havens, where safety meets livability.
Beyond just balancing the budget, when we analyze the latest crime statistics from SafeWise and family livability metrics from Moshi's Moving, a really crucial insight emerges. True safety isn't just about a lack of crime. It's about finding active, engaged communities, robust local infrastructure, and a place where you actually have the peace of mind to let your kids ride their bikes down the street.
These cities, spanning both coastal and suburban areas, consistently rank at the top for providing secure, well-managed environments for families. Take Marco Island, for instance. It boasts a violent crime rate of just 0.73 per 1,000 people. To put that into perspective, that is remarkably low compared to national standards, literally a fraction of what you see in most American municipalities. Suburbs like Weston and Parkland also shine brightly here, proving that phenomenal, low-crime communities really do exist across different pockets of the state if you know where to look.
But it's totally natural to ask, does more expensive actually mean safer?
We so often equate luxury high-rises, gated driveways, and massive price tags with perfect security. It's easy to assume that paying a premium for housing basically guarantees your family's safety. But when we look closely at the neighborhood data, that logic falls apart completely.
And this is exactly why zip code level research is absolutely vital. Consider downtown Miami. The median home price is around $400,000, yet it carries a high violent crime rating in the Y-Vile data. Contrast that with Jacksonville's Mandarin area. Homes there are almost half the price at $230,000, yet the area boasts a low violent crime rating. In Florida, paying a hefty premium for your house definitely does not automatically buy you peace of mind. You have to verify the data on the ground.
Also, if raising kids is your top priority, North Florida's academic hubs offer some incredible hidden value. Driven by the massive presence of the University of Florida, Gainesville's public school district earned an impressive 8.1 rating. These university towns leverage their massive public institutions to deliver some of the very best primary education in the state. So if you're after top-tier schools without the crazy coastal price tag, this is a major factor to consider.
Next up, Section 4, Top-Tier Healthcare Access, Evaluating Medical Resources.
When you're looking for top hospitals in a new region, it is absolutely essential to look for facilities scoring highly on PROMs. That stands for Patient-Reported Outcome Measures. Newsweek's latest rankings heavily emphasize this exact metric to guarantee exceptional care. This means they're ensuring that the hospitals they recommend aren't just well-funded and full of expensive equipment, but they actually deliver a phenomenal, personalized patient experience and incredibly smooth recovery paths.
While South Florida certainly has plenty of well-known medical centers, North Florida is quietly hoarding some serious regional heavyweights. Elite institutions like the Mayo Clinic and UF Health pack a surprisingly massive punch, anchoring the local economy and offering world-class care right in your backyard. If proximity to specialized, high-end healthcare is a non-negotiable on your relocation checklist, places like Jacksonville and Gainesville offer unparalleled access without having to navigate Miami traffic to get to your appointment.
Which brings us to Section 5, the final verdict, making your decision.
Impartially speaking, there is no single best Florida. It really all comes down to aligning the reality of the state with your specific life. If you have the budget to absorb $500,000 homes and you thrive on high-energy city life, international culture, and spectacular beaches, South Florida is an unmatched experience. If you can tolerate the dense traffic, higher insurance premiums, and flood risks, of course. But if you want your dollar to stretch much further, you prefer a calmer pace, you want shorter commutes, and you crave financial stability alongside low insurance risk, North Florida is your sanctuary.
So what's it going to be? Are you willing to pay the premium for the glamorous South Florida postcard, or will you plant your roots in the practical, affordable reality of the North? The data's on the table, the myths are officially busted, and the choice is entirely yours. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, stay curious, and we'll see you next time.